Speakers on, yep. Okay, so we should be coming up here in a second.
Playing with my hat.
Playing with your hat. PP long stockings. And so we should be live now. People should be seeing us. Hello, whoever is out there. Don't know how many people have today since it's the day after Christmas, and here in Canada it is Boxing Day. It's also Boxing Day in the UK and in Australia. Americans don't have Boxing Day.
So I find our Boxing Day isn't as good as it used to be. I think they all switched their sales to Black Friday.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, those days of when people used to stand in line. Hi, Jeannie.
Hey, Jeannie.
Hope you had a good Christmas. We're going to be talking about that in a few minutes anyways. And Aunt B's Creations is here. Hi, Aunt B. What are you giggling about? You know, pee-pee.
Yeah.
Messing up your hair.
Yeah, right.
Pee-pee long stockings. Pee-pee long stockings lives in the big house on the hill. Her daddy is a pirate captain and her mummy's in heaven with God. Marlene is here. Hi, Marlene. Yeah, it was okay. We're going to talk about it. Jody's here. Hi, Jody. Saw your email. Yep, it has been a long time. Yes, missing in action being a pet sitter. Well, couldn't you take the pets and sit them in front of the computer screen and watch? We appeal to animals. We have animal magnetism. Well, with that hair. Hi, Glenna. Yeah. We're just giving a few seconds here for other people who are coming on to give them a chance to get on here before we get going with everything. I always hate the day after Christmas because it always seems like such a letdown. Of course, mind you,
Christmas was a bit of a
letdown anyways. Yes, that's true. Well, we're used to it. It's the second year in a row of letdown on Christmas, but whatever. But anyways,
I didn't look outside. I think all our snow is gone now.
Yeah, it was. Well, it rained yesterday too.
Yeah.
Hi, Patsy.
What
does that mean? Well,
actually, that used to be anyway. I don't know what it actually means, but
it started in Britain.
Okay, what it used to mean here, it was sort of like our Black Friday. It used to be right after Christmas. Everybody would clear out all their Christmas stuff, and they'd have all these big sales on Boxing Day and everything else. That was what would be similar to your Black Friday.
Yeah, but Boxing Day is also a holiday.
Yeah.
And so, although not a statutory holiday, so that meant the stores could be open, but it was like what they used to call a banker's holiday kind of a thing. But it started in the UK. I'm not really sure why it got started. I was getting it mixed up. I thought it was because it commemorated what they called the Boxers' Rebellion, but the Boxers' Rebellion was actually in China. That was in the 1800s, and the two are not related, as I discovered the other day. So basically, it was something that was more or less started by the stores in UK, and it, of course, because Canada and Australia, because Australia still has Boxing Day, are all part of the Commonwealth, or we have close ties to Britain as a colony.
Yeah,
They've just kept it.
We never really had Black Friday or anything equivalent to that here. When I was growing up, the big sales were always on Boxing Day, right? But then more and more Canadians were going to the U.S. to shop on Black Friday, that they decided to start having Black Friday here. And then so it seems now that most of the big sales are on Black Friday, and Boxing Day, they still push it as lots of sales, but it's not usually that big of a sale.
Hi, Suzanne. Hi, Cindy. Cindy says, "Merry Christmas, you cute reindeer and little elf."
Okay, Miss Jody said she thought Boxing Day was the day for packing up your Christmas stuff into boxes
and putting away Christmas decorations.
Well, that's possible.
Well, that's a possibility too, but no, I know that's not really. It was something that was started in Britain, and it was a retail thing. But yeah, actually though, I don't know. I don't take my Christmas decorations down until January the 1st, and then they're gone. Hi, Andy.
Hi, Andy.
Yes, my little horns here. Yvonne, she can see and hear us. Good. Yeah, right. Not Rudolph. I wasn't going to wear these. You somehow felt
Yeah,
that
well,
you
I
should
thought
wear
we
these.
should be festive.
Oh, yeah, festive bah humbug. Whatever. Christmas is over. So Yvonne's here and she can see and hear us. Good. Good to know, Yvonne. So, anyways, yeah, that's Boxing Day, and I've already gotten things in my inbox on my email from quilting stores and that with all their big sales, but they're not that great. In fact, they're not sales at all. They're just what they usually put on sale
Yeah,
and stuff
all
like
our
that.
Canadian stores are having all these big sales. So
And of course, today, well, I guess stores will be open today. I mean,
yeah, the mall here is open today.
yeah, yeah, because just another business day, and with COVID, the retailers have to get as much in as they can before the Ontario government shuts them down, if it will. Walter is a party animal. Yeah. And it's the only way he has any hair. But anyway, so we are going to talk a little bit more about Christmas in a bit, but let's talk about what Walter's working on. Well, he was supposed to have finished my shirt for Christmas Day, but that didn't happen, did it?
No, it didn't. I got it. I went all gung
No.
ho. I got the main part of the shirt done. I just got to set the sleeves and finish that. And I haven't got back to it.
I'm glad we didn't end up going to my sister's for Christmas.
I was
because
going to work
gonna
on
wear
it,
but
before to go to your sister's, but since
yeah, we're not. We're going to talk about that too.
that didn't happen.
No. So that's all you've been working on? And,
Yeah.
And when you get that done, what's your next project?
Clean up my room.
Well, what? Move pile of crap A to pile of crap B, and then
No,
put
no,
pile
I've
of
got a
crap B.
couple.
In
I
A?
want to do a couple more shirts, and I want to do. I want to do another bag or something. I don't know what's going to happen with my class yet either. Though.
Oh, yes,
Nobody's
right.
Really talked about that. So.
Maybe the novelty has worn off.
Yeah, I don't know.
All those ladies have.
I don't really need to do the class that much anymore. I can read the pattern too.
Maybe I should start a class up on basic
Sure.
quilting. Yeah. I've thought about it, but that's as far as I got. I don't know. I don't know if I feel confident enough to teach it. I feel confident enough to do it. It's just teaching it. Mind you, I know how to teach, but not necessarily quilting. I've never really taught it. But anyways, that's a plan for possibly the new year. So what have I been working on? All kinds of things. So I'm going to show you some pictures here. Just let me switch over for a second. This one I'm really pleased with how it's turned out. This is called a New York Beauty. I've always wanted to make a New York Beauty, but of course I didn't make it in the conventional method. Conventional method for making a New York Beauty is to do what they call paper foundation piecing, which is where you have paper that has the pattern drawn on it and you lay over pieces of fabric in such a way and sew them in order and trim them up as you go. This was actually done in my embroidery machine. I had bought a file for creating a New York Beauty, and you do each one of these squares. So one of these is a block. And then, as you can see, the way you lay them out, you get this pattern. So there are, 3, 6, 9, 12, and plus 4, 16 blocks in this quilt. It's not a big quilt. In fact, it's not really a quilt. It's a wall hanging. Because you also did the quilting. As you can see, it's done feathers and things. And boy, I wish I could do feathers like that, but I can't. And it's actually 3 different designs in here. There's a different design in this one in the center. If you look, it's not so easy to see it. I'll blow it up a little bit. Maybe that'll make it easier. So you can see this is one design in these 4 blocks and in the center here. And then there's this design, which is more feathers and bubbles. And then the other design is in this one, you can see, which is just sort of curved lines and these little box things with the webbing in them. So then it's all put together, and I'm just in the process of layering it right now. In fact, I finished layering it and I've quilted it, but I didn't really need to quilt it because the quilt is already here, but I need to have something to hold the layers together. So I did stitch in the ditch around each one of the little blocks in here, and I did it in a very light thread color so it doesn't really show up because I didn't want something that would take away from the rest of it. and I put those borders on. And I got a little fancy with the borders. I decided to do a two-tone border. And so tomorrow all I have to do is make binding for it and bind it, and it's done. And I have a place for it. It's going to go on the wall where I'll just switch the camera over. Behind my head, there's the door with the wreath and the gnome Christmas one. Well, I've made this so it'll fit right there. And I've already got the hooks there in the door for it. So that's where it's going to reside after I take that other one down. But I'm really thrilled with the way it turned out. It's very bright, very cheerful, and looks very complicated, but it's not. Well, it wasn't when you have a machine that does it for you, kind of a deal. And I used scraps. Most of this is made up of scrap boutiques that I had. So that was great. Any questions? Juice, I thought it was for giving presents to your household help, like Dunton Abbey. Oh, yeah. Well, we gave the staff the Christmas off, so we didn't have to worry about that. So, the next thing I want to show you are my gnomes. Now, I was playing around with some different types of filament that I bought just before Christmas, and out of the three of these, the one that did it the best was the blue. These ones are okay, but also part of the problem is the model. I think this was scanned as opposed to being created. And depending on how good the scanning was, the 3D scanning. But they're kind of fun. They're cute. And why did I make gnomes? Because I can. And I just finished this one today. You know me and pin cushions. So I found this model to make this running shoe. And I made a smaller version of this at first just to see how it would print out. And it printed out pretty good. So I blew it up. And I think it's kind of fun as a pin cushion. Something a little different. So I did that, and it sits next to my sewing machine now with all my other hundreds of pin cushions. I have no lack of pin cushions. That's for sure. And yeah. So those are the things I've been working on. And oops, I need to go up here and drop that so we can see what we're doing. Okay, come on. And there we are, back. Got a frog in my throat. And let's see what's going on here. That's lovely, lovely. Okay. Carol says, hi, Carol. Stephen, this would look really good in my house. Yeah, I'm sure it would. Well, it can be yours for a small payment of what? Let's start in the 4 digits, shall we? Thanks, Andy. Judith says, I like the use of those grayed down colors in this piece. It's soothing. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not as bright.
Not as bright as, no, what I usually do. Anyways, yeah. It's yeah, I've got a thing for gnomes too. I don't know why. I never used to until recently. Yeah, thanks, Patsy. So that's what I've been working on, but then when am I not working on something? I mean, I made for Christmas, I did make it, but I had it made for a while, or finished. Quilt for my nephew and a quilt for my niece. They seem to be more thrilled with the 3D things I've made them. And those were made more or less as a joke. I made my niece, and I think I told you about this way back, on a 3D printer. She does Dungeons and Dragons. She's a dominatrix or something, or dungeon bastard, or I'm
dominatrix.
What do they call them? A dungeon master. Okay, whatever. I guess dominatrix is something different. Well, who knows what her personal life is like. But anyways, there's all kinds of characters in Dungeons and Dragons, and so I think I printed out 13 of them, fairly large ones. They took a while. She seemed to love those. And for my nephew, because I was giving Sarah some of these 3D printed things, I was looking for something for him, but I didn't really know. I don't know what interests he really has, besides, not getting any education. But so I made him. I saw an air hockey game. Actually, it's an air hockey game that's airless because no air blowing through it. And I just threw that in as a joke kind of thing. Well, he seemed to like that. I mean, you have to remember, my nephew is 25 years old. I mean,
Yeah, wow.
this isn't something.
25 years old, still living at home.
Yeah,
So.
okay, well, that seems to be the way with kids today, anyways, I guess. But anyways, they seem to be fine with that and everything. So I'm glad they've got quilts now. And I made a bunch of stuff for Walter's family. I've been making stuff since August for Christmas. Guess I have to get started on. And I just got a pattern for a Christmas quilt that I wish I had seen much earlier in the year because I would have liked to have made it for this Christmas. But I'll probably make it. And nothing saying I can't start making it now for next Christmas. But anyways, so yeah, that's what I've been working on. So what did we do Christmas Day? Well, it was just the two of us, but it didn't start out that way.
It started out, we were going to your sister's place.
Yeah, we were supposed to be going to my sister's place Christmas Day. Now, I will admit that I was very apprehensive about that. She and her husband and her two kids that live with them have all been double vaxxed. Walter and I, of course, we've been double vaxxed, and we got the booster a week ago, so we're all triple vaxxed now. But my sister was having her in-laws as well, and her mother-in-law and father-in-law are, up there in years. They're in their 80s, kind of a thing.
And her father-in-law has had a couple of bouts of cancer. So.
Yeah. Hi, Angel. So anyways, we were apprehensive about that. Plus, they were adding to it because my her husband's sister, was coming with her husband, and their two kids, which are also adults, were coming as well. And the one kid, Jessica, she has a boyfriend. Well, she lives with him, and they was coming. So we were actually breaking the rules because it turned out there'd be 13 of us, and the regulations are you're not supposed to have more than 10 to start with. Now, everybody in that group had all been vaccinated, double vaccinated, but my brother-in-law's sister is very, very cautious, and she thought it'd be a good idea for everybody to get the rapid test kits. And I think we talked about this last week, so I'm not going to go into the rigmarole of getting those, but needless to say, we got them. There was enough for everybody, and the plan was on Christmas Day, before any of us congregated at my sister's place, we would run the test. And the idea is if any one of us came up positive on the test, well, we would not be going over to my sister's place. So that's fine and dandy. But then people got a little bit more concerned about...
What happened is the cases in Ontario have gone up quite a lot in the past
week.
In the past week. So people began to get a little bit more uncomfortable with the idea of all getting together.
Yeah. I was not happy about the idea, and
it wouldn't have been so bad if it was like your sister and brother-in-law, my sister-in-law and your sister, and well, anyway,
my sister and my brother-in-law and their two kids.
Right, I wasn't too bad about that, and even the older people that were coming.
Yeah.
But then we found out that your sister's daughter was going to another party the Christmas Eve that had several households coming to it that nobody knew anybody.
Yeah, and my sister has a new love interest, I guess, or something.
Your sister's...
Or
your niece. Your niece has a new
my sister might have a new one, too. We don't know what goes on in her personal life. But, and so my sister and brother-in-law have not yet met this girl that my niece is lesbian. Was going off to have Christmas Eve with, and so we don't know what her household was like, what their status was, or anything like that. So there were too many factors. And then these children of my sister-in-law, her daughter lives in Kingston with this other guy. She's actually in healthcare, the daughter, but they were coming out for this. But we, Kingston...
Kingston right now in Ontario is a hot spot for COVID. So anyway, so we did find out, was it the day before?
Yeah.
The one person that's coming from the Kingston area had tested positive.
Yeah. Well, actually, at that point, we had decided to call the whole thing off. My everybody was uncomfortable with all the different, because it was starting now, it was starting to spread out. People would have more contacts here and there in their social circles. And so we just decided, no, we're not doing it. We're not taking the risk. It was a little bit of a disappointment because it would have been nice. But then on the other hand, you got to be safe, right? And that's what we're doing. So we did that. My sister decided, like, nobody was coming over Christmas Day. It was just going to be her and my brother-in-law and my nephew and my niece. And on the Friday night, I guess her in-laws, her mother-in-law and father-in-law, were coming over for dinner. And that was it.
Because that would have been before her daughter went
Yeah.
to dinner.
Before my niece was going off
to her dinner.
Her dinner. Yeah. So, and no, she would have been gone to
She would have been gone to that. So it would have been your
She wouldn't have
sister
had any
and
contact.
her in-laws and possibly your nephew.
Yeah. Boy, does this get confusing.
Yeah, anyway.
Need to draw a map of all of this.
Anyway, but when we went, we dropped some presents off on Christmas Eve to your sister's place, and then we learned that one of the people that were supposed to come to the
tested positive.
Tested
It was
positive,
the boyfriend to the daughter that lives in Kingston. And so they were isolating, of course. So it was just as well all of that got canceled out. We didn't have to worry. You weren't looking over your shoulder all the time. We wouldn't be, I don't think any of us would have had a really great time because we'd all be a little uptight about everything, right?
Yeah, so we do have a big turkey in the freezer, but
What's his
it's
name?
a little bit too big for us, for the two of us. So
Hi,
I went
Donna.
out
Hi,
and got
Teresa.
a turkey roll for
Yeah.
just us. So
Yeah, so it was just the two of us. We had, we did our, first of all, we started the day off, tried to make it festive with just the two of us. Walter made Dutch pancakes for brunch, which if you don't know what a Dutch pancake is, I'm going to put up a video on my vlog tomorrow about it. But basically, they're a pancake. They're kind of a cross between a pancake and a crepe.
it's like a thick crepe.
Yeah, it's like a thick crepe, but they're quite delicious. And you,
They're not fluffy like the pancakes
No.
they serve in the restaurants here.
they're a little
They're a little
denser.
bit denser and a little bit more what I might say tougher.
They're kind of rubbery.
Right? Yeah, they're a little rubbery.
Still, they're very good. But what you do to serve them is you take one of these, and they're a good size. Walter makes them a good size. And when they're warm, you spread a little butter on them, and then sprinkle some brown sugar. And then if you want, you can take some, like we had some fruit, frozen fruit kind of a thing. You put that on them, and then you roll it up like you'd roll up a crepe kind of a thing. And then you can add like syrup to it if you want. I mean, these are not diet foods, and they are definitely very, very sweet when you get done with all that. But they're so good. So he made those, and that was nice. That was good. And then at 3 o'clock, we had scheduled a Zoom thing with my sister because I wanted to see the kids opening up their gifts that I gave them. So I told them when we took them over on the Friday that they could not open them up until we had the Zoom thing. So we had the Zoom thing and they opened them up and everything, and that was fine. And we had a little charcuterie board. Actually, it was just a cheese board. Our neighbors gave us, for Christmas this year, they gave us a really nice cheese board with a matching little, I don't know, I was using it for nuts, but a little dish that goes with it, but it was all carved out of wood, out of olive wood or something. It was sort of a one-of-a-kind artisan kind of a thing. And which really we weren't expecting something like, they usually just bring us over some homemade cookies and things, tarts and that, which is just fine.
I think she gets.
I think it's a competition now.
Yeah. Because he gives her all kinds of, gives them next door all kinds of quilted stuff. So
I made them a quilt this year. Actually, it was a simple quilt. It was a panel that I did and everything, but that, and there was a few other things in there as well. So I think there were some placemats, might have been some cocktail or some coasters, and
that was a Canadian Christmas tree, wasn't
yeah,
it?
yeah, that I did. So anyways, but it's a really nice little cheese board, and it's just a nice size too. So I put together a little, snacky thing while we had the Zoom. So we had that, drank some of our Advent beer, which has been a real disappointment. My sister, yes, holy crap. She says, we looked at those and saw how much a case of beer was. You know how many cases of beer you could buy for what one of those cost? Leave it to my
Well,
sister to know.
technically not,
Not.
because they were the tall cans, and they're if you buy something with the tall cans, it can be pretty pricey. So
Yeah. But, yeah, so we had that. And then we cooked. I'd already made scalloped potatoes in the morning before Walter got out of bed. And somehow, I've made scalloped potatoes 100,000 times before. And they were scalloped potatoes au gratin. So there was cheese on the top, and I put them in the oven. And I let them go for about 30 minutes.
did you cover them?
No, when I first put them in, I don't cover them. Then after the first 30 minutes or so, 25 to 30 minutes, I will cover them. And that way. So, because I just want everything to brown a little bit on the top before that. But they take a while to cook. They usually take about an hour. So I checked it at 30 minutes. But, oh my, okay, that's really dark. The trees shouldn't look that brown. Too towards black. But anyways, it tasted fine. And I covered them up again. And then we had a turkey roll, as Walter said, so he got that out. Those suckers take a while. Cook
Well,
it.
that's because you're going frozen.
Yeah, so it was what? Said it was going to take about 4
actually,
hours.
it was pretty good.
Yeah, it was okay. We still have lots of it left. The only thing with the turkey roll is, or at least this one, it's all white meat. Now, I know a lot of people like just white meat, like half his family are that way. But I like a little bit of dark meat, too, because dark meat tends to be a little bit more moist. The white will...
Don't mind you, the white on the turkey.
Yeah, this
roll
one
is
actually was
pretty good.
fairly moist. So, and had some stuffing with it, and some green beans. Steamed the green beans, some wine, and we never did get around to dessert. We were stuffed.
No, I know we were stuffed.
We were stuffed. So, but I thought I'd make it look festive, even though it was just two of us. So I'm going to show you a little picture here that I have of I set up the table. It's kind of ghetto when I look at it right now, but so yeah, so this is our Christmas table. That was one of my 3D creations in the middle, and it's sitting on a little revolving platform like that. The scary doll, the creepy doll, who is not spinning right now because that's her platform, and it lit up. It was just something a little bit, nicer. I got out the good dishes and the good flatware for it. Even put a tablecloth on the table and everything. So, just to make things more Christmassy. Let me get out of that. So, anyways, now I saw that people were saying some things here. So, what are people saying? Judith, back it up here.
Carol can't afford to work.
No, nobody can. Judith says, my computer has my little pink friends as well. Watching me work. Oh, right. Quilting and politics, plus some junking. They sit on the flat of my laptop PC between the keyboard and the screen. Well, it's always good to have people watching you. Teresa says, we're in self-isolation right now. Son's girlfriend, who lives with us, got the call that one of her students from Thursday tested positive. Yep, had to cancel seeing my mom. Yeah, I know. Isn't that a bitch? I don't mean her. I mean the situation. I don't think Dutch cooks make anything fluffy. This is probably true. You're not fluffy people in so many ways. Judith says, my Waldorf Salad was fabulous. My husband ordered a smoked turkey from the local butcher shop, and we forgot about the Paula Deen's old number 7 sweet potatoes that were waiting in the reefer. So good too. Okay, there's so many things wrong with what you just said, Judith. First of all, okay,
I think she probably meant in refrigerator.
I said the Waldorf salad sounds great. I haven't had a Waldorf salad in a long time, but Walter can't because it's got raw apples in it, and he breaks out in hives and all kinds of things.
No, I get sick to my stomach.
Oh well, whatever. Okay, but first of all, you had a smoked turkey. Okay.
Actually, they have them at the local butcher
Okay, would
shop.
you quit cutting me off because I'm
Okay.
making a connection here. Smoked turkey, and then you've got a reefer of sweet potatoes. So is smoked turkey and sweet potatoes, number 7 sweet potatoes, just the name of some marijuana brands? Because she's got them in a reefer. So
Yeah.
okay, I was trying to make fun with that, and it obviously isn't working. Hi, Em. Um, Sweet potatoes. I do not like sweet potatoes.
I'm not fond of them either.
No. And everybody seems they always talk. And when you watch any American movie that's about holidays, they always talk about green bean casserole and sweet potato pie or sweet potatoes with they casserole where they put miniature marshmallows on top of
I mean,
them.
about the only thing I hear you get here with sweet potatoes are sweet potato fries.
And I don't like
And
those.
I don't like those
No.
either.
Hi, Cheryl. But yeah, but I mean, everybody has their traditional things, right? At Christmas time. Of course, I had a whole ton of baking I bought at the Dutch Bake Shop, actually, and that isn't a euphemism for Walter. It was an actual Dutch bake shop that we go to. It's in the town next door to us, and I had them all laid out. We didn't have any.
I have to go. You have to go there to get my fix of salted licorice. So
Yeah. So I just put all those things back into the freezer. I'll nibble on them over the next couple of months. Yeah, who am I kidding? They won't last a couple of months.
as Angel says, I like green beans, but leave them out of the casserole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what is in a green bean casserole.
I think we tried to
Did
make
we try
one
one?
once. I think we
It was a
tried to.
bit of a
it was-
disaster.
Yeah, it was kind of like I tube. It was like slimy green beans.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was slimy green.
Kind of
bean
like
casserole.
between your mother's corn
Oh
souffle.
God, corn souffle. That has got to be the worst. Ugh, hate that. But well, I don't have to worry about ever eating it. Jody says I've been really enjoying the British Bake Off show on TV. Yeah, we haven't watched that, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah. And Andy said I went ordinary, made myself meatloaf, did it big for Thanksgiving, did it up big for Thanksgiving.
Well, technically you can eat anything you want.
Yeah, true. I mean, it doesn't have to be turkey.
Salted licorice. It's black licorice that has a salted flavor to it.
It is
And
gross.
It's Dutch, and not very many people like it, especially Canadians. It was originally sold as a medicinal product in Holland and was sold in pharmacies, but it is actually kind of a confection. Everybody in Holland, everybody knows it as plop.
Is what?
Plop.
Drop.
Plop.
I don't
Anyway.
speak phlegm.
Anyway,
you that
so yeah, it comes in a variety of different formats, but it's all salted and black licorice.
We may. It's gross. It's really gross.
He doesn't like it.
But
His sister actually
My
likes
sister likes it, and the kids.
Actually,
kids
it
like
was
it.
funny when I was growing up because in elementary school, the teacher would always say, catch somebody eating a candy or something, and would say, well, if you want to eat a candy, you'll have to bring some in for the whole class, right? So I got caught eating Dutch licorice and or salted licorice, and they said, if you bring you some in for the whole class, then you can eat it, right? So that backfired for most of the teachers in my class because you'd have everybody throwing up in the garbage can because they didn't like it.
Oh, it is gross.
And it's a very acquired flavor.
Yeah.
And
I don't know who can acquire it. Only.
but there
Dutch.
would always be one or two kids in my class that would really like it. So I'd be handing it out to them. But then the teacher would get all upset because she assumed that there wouldn't be a candy that only one person would like.
Well, she made that mistake wrong. But it's gross. Hi, Nairi. Yep, Merry Christmas to you too, Nairi from Australia. Yep. I'll bet you had nice weather for Christmas. Wish we'd been there. Jody says, Judith, what do you put in your Waldorf salad that makes it fabulous? I love to cook. Oh, yeah, what makes it fabulous? There's no Waldorf, and there's no. It's a Caesar salad. What makes it so special, fabulous? It's a Caesar salad. Oh, Jody says the gray-haired guy on British
Well,
Bake Off is hot,
does it
hot,
taste
hot.
better after 3 glasses of wine?
Oh, maybe. I like Waldorf Salad. I haven't had, well, because you get sick on raw
Well,
apples.
you can make it.
Yeah, I'm going to make a whole Waldorf
Make a
salad.
Waldorf salad without apples.
Well, then it's Caesar. That's what I said. So apparently there's a really hot gray-haired guy on the British Bake Off. Maybe we should start watching it. Angel says, "Oh my God, that sounds sort of awful." I think she means the licorice.
Teresa says, I don't think I can admit my drop addiction to my urologist now.
Or stones in my kidneys will cut me off. DZ are the best. Is
Oh,
that
you're
a brand?
talking about double salt. Actually, I used to like it as a kid, but I've grown out of that. I don't like the double salted as much as I used to.
No, Sly is here. Hi, Sly. Hi, Sly. From Maryland. I'm trying Canadian beer right now for the first time. Well, be careful with that. You Americans can't handle the alcohol content in a Canadian beer. You're used to drinking brown water, calling it beer. Sorry, but you are.
That's not that bad.
Well, it's not that good. Okay. When we went to that Drake show, we had Bud. I said I wanted.
Yeah, but that's the bud that's made here. It's made.
Well, it
under
was still
license.
gross.
Yeah,
It was
I
still
don't like
bad.
it, yeah.
So,
I asked for blue light and they gave me bud.
Cheryl says, never heard of salted black licorice, but would try it. I love black licorice. Well, guess what? It doesn't taste anything like black licorice.
No, it's very different.
It's like, okay, here's what I suggest you do. See if you like it. Take some of your regular black licorice, get it wet, coat it in a lot of salt.
Get my bag.
Here, you're going to get your bag. Cover it in a big coating of salt, and then stick it in your mouth. Tell me how you like it then, because that's what it tastes like. Judith says pincushion. Oh, pincushion. Okay, they're from the early 1900s. Metal, and I collect the animals. My current faves are seated bulldog, kneeling lamb, and the capuchin. I'm not sure how you say it. As a cow. Oh, okay. Well, those sound like interesting little things. Teresa says, I don't think I'm going to admit my droop. Oh, yeah, we already did that one. Patsy says it's only 76 degrees here, partly cloudy. Really, Patsy? 76 degrees? It is 1 degree Celsius here. So, and that's warm. Okay, Patsy says for the Waldorf salad, you just use 1 apple, mix a little celery, walnuts, and mayo. Wow, that's easy. Maybe we could stick pear in it. No, you get sick on pear. There's your salted liquid.
I have all the different varieties in here.
Yeah, they don't all come black. Some of them come white. That's to fool you into thinking, oh, that's yummy. Yum, yum. No, it's not.
These ones are more classic ones. They're
Are those the bloopies?
they're the ones they call like coins.
No.
And they're black and lightly salted.
Mm.
And then they have these other ones. They're these old tubes with a filling in them that are salted.
Hi, Marilyn.
They're coated in sugar too. And then there's these other ones. They call it school chalk
Oh.
because they look like school chalk.
Oh, okay.
But
Looks like a
they're
tampon.
sort of like mint on the outside and licorice on the inside. And you get ones that are like a little fatter. You get ones that are wrapped up pretty like candies.
yeah, again, to suck you in.
But so that's about the only varieties I have in here.
He
Yeah.
buys them by the carload.
Oh, wait a minute. I have these other. Oh, where's the other ones? I think I might have eaten all of them. Oh, they have these other ones. They're also covered in sugar. They look like a pretzel.
Oh, it looks like a chocolate-covered pretzel. Not.
They're coated in sugar, but they're salted licorice underneath.
Okay, so Judith's recipe for Waldorf salad is half mayo, half whipped cream with real lemon juice and zest, bit of sugar, and a sprinkle of cinnamon over the top. 3 color apples, walnuts. Ooh, that sounds really good. Yeah. Iris says it's 28 degrees C there, building up to 40 next Sunday. Summer in Australia. Yeah. And Angel says it's only 49 degrees Fahrenheit in Pennsylvania. Yeah, there's quite a variety here. But anyways, my favorite though are Walter gets me these every Christmas. Hand me my box, please. These are my favorite. Fruitfuls. These are the little sugary,
Really sweet.
really sweet, really good. They all come. They look like little fruits and things. I love these. These ones are nice and soft too. I like them when they're soft. When they go hard, it's a little bit different. Oh, Nairi loves the white coated licorice, but is it salted, Nairi?
Yes, it is. Oh no!
No, I asked
no,
about
oh.
Nairi. Gee, it's not all about you.
No. Okay, the white coated like. Oh, I see. Okay.
I don't know if I'm just wondering though if she means like white coated regular licorice or salted licorice.
Well, okay.
Your talk of licorice, Marilyn says, made me remember I had New Zealand licorice stashed away. Now that's good stuff. Don't know if I've ever had that. I'm not a big licorice fan.
I sometimes buy, if I don't have that of the Dutch stuff available, I might buy the what they call the Australian licorice or whatever.
Oh, what,
here.
the panda?
Yeah, or panda or whatever. It's not salted, but it's just black licorice. Sweet. It's sweet black licorice.
Marilyn says, is black licorice the same flavor as anise? Yes.
Yeah, well, it is. It is whatever they get out of the anise. It's just like, it's sort of like plain old sweet black licorice, but it has a very distinct salt flavor to it.
Very distinct. Yeah, like eat a whole salt shaker of salt, and then you'll know.
Technically, it's not the same kind of salt as what you get in a salt shaker. I forget it's a different chemical, but it tastes salty.
Yeah. Oh, Judith says she also puts in red seedless grapes, cut in half.
Yes, oh. Teresa, I like them. I haven't had them in a long time.
What's a rum booming?
It's those brandy-filled chocolates.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Yeah, liquor-filled chocolates are not something that thrills me.
Too.
I mean, I'm not that. I don't like the.
I do.
The liquor. Yeah, of course you do. I don't dislike them, but like one's enough for me of any of that kind of stuff. Oh, it is. Nairi says it is salted licorice that's covered in the white that she was talking about. Well, anyways, yeah, foods, Christmas foods, chocolate. We do have a box of chocolates upstairs. I forgot all about those Williams chocolate. Yum. But anyways, we could eat these and then throw up. So, speaking of Christmas, Santa was very good to me, aka Walter. I posted some pictures on Facebook, but I'm going to show you my haul.
I got a little carried away.
Yeah, he did. So let me switch over here to show you what we're talking about. And here we go. Okay. Walter got me a lot of fabric. This is part of it that he got me. And he did a lot of shopping on the Fat Quarter Shop and Missouri Star Quilt. But
actually, I won't buy from Fat Quarter again. No, and it's not, they had good prices and stuff, but the problem for us is that by the time the exchange rate and by the time I had to pay duty for the stuff coming up here, plus it took 3 weeks to get to me, I don't think I'd buy from them again. Now, on the other hand, Missouri Star,
yeah,
which we used to have trouble with getting stuff here, was actually pretty speedy, because what they do that's different in the Fat Quarter Shop, I had to wait for it to go through Canadian Customs, and that usually takes quite a bit. But with Missouri Star, they pre-charge me duties at the time when I purchase it, and then it just flies right through the Canadian Border Services with no problem. And one of the reasons I bought from these two companies, so normally I buy from Canadian companies, but I was looking at pre-cut fabrics, and the Canadian companies or Canadian stores really have a limited supply of pre-cut fabrics. And a lot of stuff they have is like old stuff.
Yeah.
And they're not, because I looked through a lot of the Canadian companies, I couldn't find the stuff that I bought from Missouri Star. Wouldn't, by the time it came up to me or whatever, price wise was approximately the same amount I would have paid in a Canadian store for it. But I was able to get more current fabrics from them than what the Canadian stores offered. So that's why I went and bought some stuff through them.
So I've got a lot of fabric here, As you can
And
s okay,
oh
yes,
yeah, no,
carry on.
and Missouri Star later. This was an afterthought. Had a big sale on backing fabric that
Wide back.
did work out a lot
Yeah.
cheaper than Canadian fabric.
And that's what you see down here. But before I've got another picture of that, you'll see more. This is not all of it, people. So he got me these fat quarter bundles. And some of this, I think this one and this one right here in the foreground, those are Tim Holtz's latest the line, his eclectic elements line. And you know, anything Tim Holtz I love. Jelly rolls, I love jelly rolls, and a couple of these jelly rolls are K Facet that are from his new line. One is what, darks?
No, I don't think. Yeah, they're dark fabrics. They're dark colored fabrics.
But that's what's called darks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then these colorful little bundles in here, and then back here is another strip pack. Because I love pre-cuts. But what Walter was just talking about, here are all. He got me 6. These ones in the plastic. These are all wide back, 108-inch, 3-yard cuts, which is basically what I use for backing most of my quilts. So I've got enough backing to do at least a minimum of 6 quilts right here, plus my other stash on top of it all. Plus I have more wide back on order. That's a special sale from Whirls and Swirls that doesn't come until probably sometime in January. But the most exciting selection out of all of these, wait till you see it. Are you ready for this? Look at this. Oh my God, I crapped my pants. In fact, ironically, I had been looking at a quilting website and I had saw this line called Poured Color, and I thought, ooh, I really like that. I should order some of that, but I didn't yet. So Walter got me the entire collection. There are 80 fat quarters in this box.
Actually, they were actually a really good deal. I got them on, I'd seen them more on fabric.com, and they were out of stock on it. And I ended up checking about a week ago, actually, for them. And I saw that they had them, so I went nuts and bought the box, and figured I wouldn't get it until after Christmas, but actually I got it Wednesday. It was really fast.
Where'd that come from?
From fabric.com,
Oh,
which
fabric.com.
is a subsidiary of Amazon.
Oh, okay.
So I got it really quick, and actually it worked out to a really good price. So
Yeah, I love them. I think they're so pretty. In fact, they're so pretty I don't want to even use them. Well, I will. But yeah, so Santa was really good to me. Let me get out of this and go down here. And so you might be wondering what I got Santa, but just before we go there, oh, hi, Brenda. Brenda's here. So what are people saying? Got to back it up. Teresa says, keep the U.S. purchases under $200 to avoid duty. Sometimes it's worth paying for 2 packages shipping instead.
well, what was interesting is that the fat quarter shop, I didn't really have to pay for shipping, but I had to pay a significant amount for duty. And I found out then that Canada Post charges you extra because they a processing fee for it to go through duty. You don't just pay the duty, you pay an extra fee for them. And then I found out the going through fabric.com, although I had to pay duty on it, it was actually quite reasonable. And Missouri Star charges you in advance, but then you have to pay for shipping. So, but I mean, the initial cost, the actual cost of the fabric was much more reasonable than what we could get here, and it was because the Missouri Star had the white back backing on sale, so they were charging something like $11.50 a yard or something like that. And so even if I had to pay the cost for shipping plus the duty, it still worked out to be much less expensive than buying here. Plus, I got some fabrics that you just can't get here. So
yeah. So anyways, I've got lots of fabric, and Nairi says, good thing is, Stephen, is that you will use it. Can't wait to see what you create. Yeah, so what I've got to do now is I'm going to go through all my patterns and things of projects that I want to make, but and match the pattern to the fabrics that I want to use. So that may take a bit of time to figure that out because they're so pretty. I just want to get naked and roll in them. I think, okay, but enough about my fetishes. What else being said here? Yeah, I know the poured color one, Judith, is so nice. Oh, Nairi says, not a quilter. What's a fat quarter? Fat quarter is a piece of fabric from the bolt that is approximately 18 inches by 21 inches.
22.
Approximately 18 inches by 21 to 22 inches in size because it goes by the from selvage to salvage for the one measurement. Yeah. And fabric can be, if you'd let me finish it, you don't quilt. What do you know?
Well, like, said really, in the poured color one was 18 by 22.
Yeah, they vary, but that's what it is. So it's called a fat quarter. Oh, Teresa got a newer car for Christmas. Ooh, to come with a big bow. Some couriers also charge a service charge. Yeah, like UPS.
Well, actually, UPS, the fabric.com came from UPS, and actually, it was really reasonable what I had to pay for duty.
Or Adrian, I mean. Yeah, Pat Lady is here. Well, anyway, so I got a lot of fabric and things, which I was thrilled about. So, what did you get from Santa, aka me?
You got some accessories for my drill.
Yeah, like what?
A conversion thing where I can use my hand drill, and it lets me sort of convert it to use it as if it was a
drill
press, and because it's hard when you're using a hand drill to get a real nice even hole.
Hate it when your holes aren't even.
And so actually, that was really good. I like that because I have had situations where it's hard to get it to
give you a perfect hole.
Perfect. Anyway, and then he gave me some other connections for my drill so that I can drill when you get into tight angles and stuff like that.
Yeah, when you get in those little tight spots, So I was glad he liked those.
And you got me an extension table for my cover stitch machine, plus a few accessories, including a clear foot, which you really wanted. Is something I really wanted.
And I got him a gift certificate for Ultimate Sewing, so he can buy some fabric.
Yeah,
yeah, I'd like to wear fabric.
A book for my cover stitch.
Oh yeah, the book from, and luckily, apparently, he'd heard about this author. She's supposed to be the definitive statement on cover stitch.
Well, actually, I do watch a lot of her YouTube videos, and now I can't remember the name of her name.
It was Joanna Lundstrom
or something like that. If you see her, she almost sounds like she has a speech impediment or something like that when you're. I don't know. I think it's just her accent. I think she has like either a South African accent or it's sort of a combination between an English and some other accent. But she is really good on her videos at showing you cover stitch stuff and seams and things like that. I really like her stuff, her videos.
Well, she was completely by accident. I stumbled upon her on YouTube or something, and then I heard that she had this book, and I went on Amazon and I looked at the reviews of the book, and I thought, well, this is good because it doesn't matter what cover stitch machine you're using because she's written it generically for it, and I thought, well, it can't hurt to have something like that.
And you got me a nice rack for my threads.
Yes, I got him a thread rack after. If you remember way back, I made him some thread racks on my 3D printer, and they just immediately fell apart. So I thought, okay, I'll get good ones. And actually, I was really surprised when he opened it up, because I hadn't really opened the box up. Well, I did. I kind of looked inside, but I didn't pull anything out. I thought I'd only got one in the box, but it was two. Bonus. Yeah. That was great. So that's it. But anyways, I was shopping since
I hung them up today, so they work really well.
Yeah, well, that's good. So Santa was good to us. We were happy with what we got. And as I said, after this video's over with, after today's live is over, I'm just going to get naked and roll on my fabric for a while. It's just me. It's just a fetish. but whatever. You could do the same with your accessories for your cover machine, except those are sharper. They might hurt. Might get parts caught in it. Just looking at what people are saying. So Teresa got herself a new card. She moved up from a 2009 to a 2016 CRV.
Okay, well, I have a 2015 CRE, so.
Oh, that's nice. I have a 2008 Honda Civic, and I still drive it, sort of, some days. Adrian says, I put bourbon in my sweet potato casserole. Helps with the flavor. At that point, who cares what it tastes like? You're just drink your potatoes.
Or do you just drink bourbon while you're making it?
Yeah. Be like a Lucy show. Vegemite. This stuff. It's really good. Try that. So anyways, yeah, Christmas was okay, but now we go move into what? Next weekend is New Year's. Well, next Friday night's New Year's Eve. So I don't know what we're doing. Walter's eye roll was priceless. Yeah, well, he does that.
That's when you were rolling around in your fabric.
You want to know about his fetishes? It's a long list. Yeah. He'd roll around in a bag of licorice if you let him. Just coat himself in sugar. But anyways.
Or eat too much of it.
Yeah, you do. Whatever. Do you crap black?
No, if you eat too much licorice, it can be.
That's what I thought. That's what they say. Things, ooh, that come out of you. Ooh, that'd be gross. So, New Year's Eve. Anybody got any plans? We don't. Maybe we'll watch the fireworks from Australia on YouTube and then move our way over to other parts. We did that last year. Kind of watched the different New Year's Eve fireworks shows from across the world on YouTube. But that's about it. We could still be eating turkey that night. What's this? I bought a car. Angel said, I bought myself a car last year for my birthday. I decided to go hybrid. How's that working out? How long's your extension cord? I hear there's nothing worse than you get. Yeah, sure, you can go 100 miles on one charge. But then again, what happens if the extension cord pulls out halfway there? Then you're screwed. Yeah, again, my attempt at humor not working. Teresa says, my old Honda has 270,000 kilometers on it and it still goes on forever. Just fell for a shiny object. And Cheryl bought my lease car last week. No new cars here to lease, so bought my lease car. Yeah, well, my car's in really great shape. And I only have 67,000 kilometers on it, and it's a 2008. But that's because
he doesn't drive, and I drive everywhere.
Just call me Miss Daisy.
I have like 107,000.
It's driving
my car.
It's driving Miss Daisy. I don't like driving. I never have. I can't.
And my 107,000 kilometers includes one trip to Florida and back.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, those were the days. That's a long time ago now.
Yeah, it was 2015 when I bought the car.
Yeah, that's right. Broke it in. Adrian says, I'm boring on New Year's Eve. Just stay home and watch a Western. Yeah. And Jody's pet sitting 3 dogs for 6 days, 24/7 over New Year's. And I watch Anderson Cooper and Andy Cohen watch the ball drop in New York City. We don't have to go to New York City to see the ball drop. That happened a few years ago. Gravity's not our friend. Not the same ball, is it? I'm here all week, people. Tip your waitress. Cheryl has no New Year's plans. The goal will be to stay awake until midnight.
Yeah, well, that's Steve's.
Yeah, well, I went to bed late last night. It was 11:30.
Yeah, it was 11:30. God,
I was tired. I got up late this morning. Got up at 7:30 instead of 6. Angel has a Toyota RAV4 gas hybrid. Oh, I guess that's will be good.
Yeah, actually, that's a nice car.
Yeah,
a neighbor 2 doors down has one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Donnell McAdams with So Steady is having a virtual New Year's Eve party. She had one last year and it was great. So what, does everybody come and sew on it? I thought about doing a pop-up craft and chat on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, but I don't know if I will. Well, no, because now I know I decided not to, is because I have craft and chat coming up on January the 5th, so it's really close. I'm having crafty friends over for the day on New Year's Eve. Air conditioner will be on. Yep. Stop it, Nairi. You're making me I've been thinking a lot about Australia lately. And how nice it would be to go. Cars are hard to find now. The dealer lots are empty. Used cars are going for almost the same price as new. I found mine as a fluke. Well,
Yeah.
is that because of the chip shortage?
Well, it has to do with the chip shortage, and for some reason, they seem to be having a higher demand for cars right now.
Yeah, and Brenda says, hubby and I are staying at home because it's going to be extreme cold conditions. Well, where you live, yes. And Nancy
All
says,
our
hi,
weekend
Nancy.
was raining most of the weekend.
Nancy says, I will be doing a sew-along New Year's Eve for a foundation paper piece friendship star. Oh, lots of people are doing. Well, my guild last year or something, they were doing that. It's not my guild anymore. I don't belong to it. But, they were doing a thing on New Year's Eve, too.
Yeah, and I'm going to be watching Steve snooze in the chair for...
Yeah, right, fighting. Glenn is watching their 6-year-old granddaughters on New Year's Eve. Oh, do they do tricks? If you throw snacks at them, will they sit up and beg and things like that? I hate children. Cheryl lives in Detroit, and there are no cars here either, new or used. Donnell does a project and shares the pattern. Teresa says, yep, chip shortage. Now you have to order a new one, and you might get it in 6 months. Yeah, I guess. Well, I'm not in the market for a new car.
No, I'm not either.
So
my 2015 is doing just fine. And with all COVID stuff, I don't drive as much as I used to. So I'm not planning on getting anything new. So,
well, we haven't gone out for New Year's Eve even before.
Yeah, I know.
COVID
The last
for a
time
while.
we went out, it was a mistake.
It was a mistake. It was boring as hell.
Couldn't get out of there soon enough.
No, we couldn't. And Jody says, here in Colorado, it's been unusually warm. We need snow and moisture bad, but the California type warm weather has sure been nice. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, actually, it's been wild here. We have had snow.
Yeah.
But it's
gone now.
Been the last couple of days, it's been above zero, or above freezing. So.
And we actually had rain yesterday, I guess.
Yeah, we had rain yesterday.
I didn't even know it was raining.
I haven't looked out. I didn't go out today, but I bet you all our snow's gone. So.
Yeah. Can't tell now. It's dark now.
Yeah.
Out there. We did have another celebration though this past week. Was it? Yeah, past week on Tuesday, because it was our anniversary. Our anniversary is on December the 21st. And so we had a really nice evening. We had frozen lobster tails we got at Costco, and they were fantastic. There was how many in the bag?
There was 2 reasonably large ones and 3 small ones.
Smaller ones, which was enough for the 2 of us. And they were $30? $29.99?
Yeah, for the bag. It was 1.5 pounds of lobster tails.
But they were really nice. Walter did them in the sous vide. And we had a little butter with them and whatnot. But we started with we did a little charcuterie kind of a thing beforehand. And we were just grazing that night. I think we had a couple of bottles of red wine. No, we had a bottle of champagne. And then we had a bottle of red wine. And it was just kind of nice. I quite enjoyed myself.
The only thing I regret now is that we didn't buy 2 bags of those.
I know. They were so good.
I went, they were actually Canadian lobster. And I went to Costco later, a couple of weeks after we went. We bought them. And they didn't have any left. So.
No, too bad. We'll have to keep our eye open and see if they get any more the minute.
Because they were really good.
They were really, really good. They weren't fishy at all. They were nice and tender. They had lots of flavor. They were really good. My Angel says, I drive to the grocery store and work. Everywhere else is overrated. And Nairi says, we stay home and try to keep our greyhound Millie calm during the fireworks, so she shakes and tries to hide. Yeah. And thank you, Nairi. Yeah, so nobody asked us how many years yet.
Too many.
Want to guess? Any guesses out there? Which anniversary we were celebrating this year? Anybody? Anyone? Feel like Ferris Bueller's Day Off? Here. Thanks, Marilyn. We don't get each other cards though anymore.
No.
Don't do that. No. Just an excuse to have lobster. Oh, Patsy says, okay, you beat us, Patsy. 56 years? Wow. We're 38. 38 years. And if you don't believe me, I am willing to cut off Walter's leg and count the rings for you. 26, 25. Nope. 38. Hard to believe that. It just seems like yesterday. We were just young things then. I think I was 2 and you weren't. No, you would have been 1. No, hard to believe. See, it can last.
Yeah.
It just depends on how tolerant you are. Oh, you're closer there, Carol. Nope, 38. 38 years. So, anyways, that was kind of a nice night. I had a good time. Thanks, Patsy. So, what else? Oh, okay. So the other night, don't ask me why.
Reasons,
Yeah, well, I just said it. She cheated. I was looking back on some old videos that we had done. Like I was trying to figure out when I started quilting, because the first videos I ever did on my vlog had to do with crafting. They didn't have to do with quilting because I wasn't quilting at that point. And then I came across a video that I did, I think it was in 2017 or something. It's a Stephen Cooks, and I tried to make those Dutch pancakes that Walter was talking
funny.
about. I didn't mean for it to be funny, but it's just a comedy of errors. It's hilarious. And what I've done is in the show notes today, I have put the link to that video. If you want something that's funny, check that one out, because I wasn't trying to be funny in that. It was a disaster what I was doing. But anyways, we had a good chuckle out of that one. Yeah, that's right, Patsy. You have to pick your battles, or like I always say, pick the mountain you want to die on. And Andy says, to what do you attribute to the longevity of your relationship?
We're just 2 very difficult people to live together, you know.
Because we're afraid nobody else would put up with each of us? I don't know. I think it's because we have a lot of common interests.
Yeah.
We like a lot of the same things, and we're not in well, yeah, we are in competition with each other to a certain extent. Well, you are with me. I mean, you're always going to lose, but I mean, like, no. No, I don't know. I think it's because right off the bat, we had interests that we still maintain those same interests. And yeah.
Yeah, we like a lot of the same things.
Yeah.
Not everything, of course, but
we both have our own talents too, you know, and we kind of honor those talents. Like there's certain things that I do. Like one question I always hate that straight people will ask gay couples, who does the woman's stuff? Or which one's the woman? Which one's the man? We're both men. Neither one of us are women. Do you see a dress on this?
Like I tend to do more mechanical stuff than you do, but you're capable of doing that.
I'm more of an organizer. I'm the person who, you know, puts the social events together or whatever. Walter's the fixer, you know, kind of a thing. I can't hammer in a nail straight. No pun intended.
No, neither can I. But I have other tools for that.
Now, if you asked us who's Lucy, that would be me, because I do all kinds of Lucy things. You know, like, well, if you watch that video of me making the Dutch pancakes, that will explain it to you. That's why Walter thought it was very funny, because, yeah, wouldn't be the way you would do it. Well, it wasn't the way I should have done it either, but I try.
Yeah, well, we don't tolerate BS either.
No, that's true. Well, you know, it wasn't always easy, and there are moments even now, you know, every couple has their disagreements, but I've learned over the years that basically he's always going to be right, and don't argue with him. Just shut up. Say nothing. It's usually the safe way to go. And usually anything that he wants to do anyways is what I want to do too. So, yeah. And we do finish each other's sentences, and we do read each other's minds.
Yeah, I know it's kind of bizarre, because I'll be thinking of something for dinner, and which usually it's hard to do these days.
Yeah, it's
But
all.
but then all of a sudden he goes, "Oh, I was thinking of that." So
Yeah. So yeah. So I don't know what we would attribute. I think actually a better question or a better way of answering that question is what makes couples break up? And so many do. And I think one of them is they don't have patience with the other person. They're not willing to compensate or to not compensate, compromise. They're not willing to compromise. It's a give and take. I mean, I know it's a cliche. People say that in every relationship. It's a give and take thing. But I don't think people really believe that. I think there's always one person in the relationship that takes more than the other. And you've got to know where the line is for that. How much will the other person tolerate? And I think communication is very important, very key. I'm very much about that, you know.
well, actually, one thing that's always been good for us is that we each have our own money,
Yeah.
and we have a common pot that common things come out of, and so that way, I feel if I decide I want to go out and buy something stupid, it comes out of my pot, and
And anything that I want, if I want it, I'll buy it out of my money, out of it all. We don't have to ask permission to buy things if we want them. And you know, a lot of couples do, and a lot of gay couples do it this way too. They will pool their money completely.
and then one will say to the other person, "Oh, I see you charged this amount of money for something on
Yeah.
there and on your card or something. And why did you do that? Why did you buy this?" And we never have that conversation because if I buy something I want,
Yeah.
then I pay for it. And he buys something he wants, he pays for it. I
Yeah.
mean, it's probably not the most efficient way to have money because, I mean, you might end up spending more money that way because you buy your own things. But it's always worked for us because we've never really had any
We've never
fights
really had
about
any
money.
fights about
Now,
money.
mind you, we are both fairly thrifty, so
Yeah.
and we're both very careful with our money.
Yeah.
So it's and so that helps too, I suppose.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like one of us is like major in debt and the other one isn't. So
And you know, I think generally speaking, well, speaking for myself, I enjoy being around him. So
most of the time.
most of the time. And that's the other thing though too. We do have a healthy respect for our individual times. Like we can go off like his favorite is Canadian Tire.
I do have times where I need to sort of be on my own. So,
Well, I do too. But we also have
but I mean, one thing we don't do is we don't travel apart.
no.
Like, I mean,
No.
I know some people have relationships where one goes on vacation and the other one doesn't. We've never done that. We've always gone on
Yeah.
vacation together.
I can't
so.
imagine doing something like that.
Of course, we don't have any friends to do that.
No, that's true. So that might be the other reason why we don't have any friends. So that would do it. There's some discussion here. I just want to back up on it a little bit. Let's see it. Denari says tolerance of each other's foibles. Yeah, that's true. I mean, he has clothes all over on his side of the bedroom on the floor, whereas I don't. I'm just over it. I mean, it's not going to change anything, and that's what I mean. You pick the mountain you want to die on. And I think a lot of couples get nitpicky about this, that, and the other thing. You got to learn, tolerance.
Yeah, he knows that he wants me to do something constructive or something. It may not happen right away.
No, learn patience, tolerance, and patience with it. Teresa says, that's why I'm single. I'm difficult and I don't tolerate BS. Grew up with brothers. Oh, so you're a bitch. Nairi says that she and John are celebrating 44 years together next August. So good for you. Jeannie says, that's such an intrusive question. What question is that, Jeannie? You mean about what we put it to? Are you getting on Andy's back, Jeannie? How about, I I didn't think it was intrusive. If that's what we're talking about, it's a question about our longevity. That's okay for us. Doesn't. But, oh, I know what you're talking about. The one about who plays the woman and all that stuff. Yeah, you're right. And now I haven't had that one too many. But most people now these days would know that that's like.
Yeah, but then they
correct.
get subtle, like who does the laundry.
Oh yeah, you'll be subtle. Who does the laundry?
It happens. We both do it.
We do our own.
We do our own, and then we have common duties.
Yeah. But yeah, no.
It's only because I don't like the way he washes his clothes, and he doesn't.
And I don't like the way he washes clothes. Well, whatever. Actually, no, because if I was to wash his clothes with my clothes, then I wouldn't have done it right. And
well, the other part of the problem is we wear things that are the same size enough that we could get our stuff all mixed up. So, and we still do, but
yeah, actually, Naire's got it pretty much summarized about long-term relationship. Interests together, interests apart. No major decisions on your own, e.g., big money purchases, shared chores, etc. Stuff like that. Drink. Yeah, the last one works well too. Yeah, basically. Yeah, that kind of sums it up, Nairi. Jody says, I'm at a crossroads myself, but it's so hard to make the split at my age. Yeah, sometimes you get, I guess, you get comfortable and secure, or, the unknown, what is it? The devil you know is better than the devil you don't. Adrian says respectful communication. Yeah. And Therese says, I think a lot of couples break up after the kids move out when they find themselves alone and realize they really don't like each other. Yeah, you hear about that a lot.
Possibility, yeah.
Yeah, but we don't need kids, so we didn't have to worry about that. And I just popped around here. Almost everything he does irritates me. Well, that's not good, Jody.
No.
And if it's like that and you see no possible resolution to that, and usually, that would mean somebody has to change, and let's face it, people don't change. They don't. Your personality is your personality.
I mean, you can sort of bend a little bit.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's still, you almost always revert back to your own way.
Yeah. I guess the way I would look at it, and I'm not a marriage counselor, so I this is just off the top of the head, is if I was in that situation where everything irritates me to the point, I'd have to look at it and go, okay, what's the quality of my life then in this case? Am I spending all my energy and my time being irritated and trying to solve something that I know is insolvable? And that, then maybe the break is necessary. Because, I mean, how much,
you have
life
to
is short.
make your own decisions.
But that's up to the individual in an individual case, yes. So, Cheryl says, we've always had our own money too, yeah. And that's what Adrian says as well. Asking permission to spend is something I've never done. That drives me crazy that women, especially, have this feeling they have to ask their husband, for permission to spend something, or they hide their purchases. And having worked in retail for a little while during my retirement, like at the craft store, I'd hear this all the time from the ladies that would come in. Oh, can you put it in a different colored bag? Because he knows this bag. And I don't want him to know I was here.
Well, actually, they do that at the sewing shop, too.
Yeah.
They switch their colors of their bags, too. So.
And I just think that's so... Actually, to me, that reflects on the relationship in that you have allowed, or your husband is so controlling that you have to pass everything you buy for yourself via him.
Yeah, like it's funny when we go in the sewing store, he'll buy stuff, and then I'll buy stuff and we pay for it separately, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if it freaks them out when we do that. But anyway, they've said a couple of times he's bought a lot of stuff or something like that. And they'll say to me, it says, oh, does Walter approve or whatever? And I said, I don't care. It's his money.
Yeah, that's what I say. I say, but if you could put my purchases on his card without him knowing, fine by me, go for it. No. Yeah, so, that's not a problem. Marilyn says, you both have a good sense of humor with each other as well. Yeah, I think we do. Well, you might as well laugh because otherwise you'll be crying. Don't sweat the small stuff. Exactly, Nairi. A good sense of humor is so important in talking, listening to each other. Yeah. And Sly says, I've been married 45 years, one pot for all money, it just works. And I'm not saying it can't work.
No, I'm not saying it can't work, but we've just always been used. We have a common pot of money that goes for like house expenses and stuff. So, and we pay into that every month. So,
Yeah.
so it keeps it up. So
It's whatever works in the relationship. But, you know, for us, we're two men. And, you know, we may be gay men, but we're men. And men tend to be
we tend to be very independent. We were very independent to begin with
before we ever got together. So
when I met Steve, I had my own house. I owned my own house, and Steve was very independent. He lived in his own place. He was renting an apartment at the time, but he was in his own place, and he had his own knew how to look after his own expenses and that. And we said, like, when we first got together, we decided to have separate accounts and that. And some people would laugh because we'd go to a restaurant, and it was so not together that we would like pay separately for our meal, even though we lived together, right? And now that's changed because it comes out of our common account now when we do.
Like our finances have blurred a little
blended
bit more over
more
the years.
than it has over the years, but we've sort of always maintained that to that separate account sort of situation because we don't have very many conflicts over money, very few, if any.
Yeah, we never
and so we kind of figured that it always works, so why
if it works, if it's not broke, why fix it?
Change it if it works.
Yeah,
because I have seen other couples, like a guy I used to work with, where they had combined everything, and the one would would phone up in the afternoon and say, "Oh, I see you made a $34 charge to this other company. Why? What was it you spent the money on?" Well, then you were being questioned as to what you spent the money on. And if it's something you just wanted to do for yourself or something, why be questioned for?
Yeah. So whatever works. But Cheryl says it's 44 years for them this coming year. And we both like to travel, so that's why I keep them around. And Teresa says, I've decided a long time ago to save the stress to deal with unexpected events that you can change. But sweating over things you can't control is pointless. Yeah, it's true. You just have to get over it. And Eric and Penny Haverson. Oh, Eric and Penny. Hi, Eric and Penny. Been married for over 34 years, still going strong. That's great. Hey, gotta love a man that buys you 29 pairs of cute socks for Christmas. Is the husband controlling or is the wife sabotaging the budget? Oh, whatever. Well, we would just use that
that's
example.
Kind of interesting because, like with us, is that we've always been very careful with our budget, and we've never had a situation where we had to help the other one out financially.
No, and we wouldn't. But it's also in our personalities that we would not want somebody to try and bail us out from something. We would be. I mean, when I first met Walter, I had some credit card debt. Not uncontrollable, but my problem was I would use a credit card for everything. If I was buying something that was $5, I'd use a credit card. And then it got a little bit out of control. And then when we bought our first house together, I knew, well, wait, no, I can't go into this kind of relationship with debt and that. So I paid it all off. To this day, I'm not sure how I did that, but I did it because I had a goal, and I've never been in that situation again. And we do not carry debt, either one of us. But I learned that from him. Certainly didn't get it from my parents because they weren't good at that at all, as you've probably heard me talk about before, other times. And Patsy says we used to have separate accounts, and I kept having to bail them out, so we combined. Oh, okay. I've always had my dressmaker money, so he knows if I want something, I buy it. I've never been good at asking for money from our money. I'm good at spending money, and he's good at saving money. Well, so there you go. There's a relationship made right there in heaven. or maybe somewhat lower.
Right.
Not sure.
Anyway,
But anyways, yeah, so it works for us, and whatever works for other people, then that's fine.
I mean, everybody has their own individual way they do things.
Yeah.
So
I do think, though, in this day and age, I think maybe on the newer generations, they tend to look at the institution of marriage or a relationship, if it's not marriage that they're in, as something that they can walk away from. The idea of permanence, I think, for some people is not the idea of what permanence was a generation ago or so. You know, you married somebody, it was for life, for better, for worse. And as soon as things aren't so good, rather than ride out the storm or find a solution to it, it's just, okay, that's it, I'm leaving, bye-bye.
you know, I've
Kind of
talked
thing.
to people over the years that were in a relationship and something wasn't going quite right at the time, and then they decided to split up and everything, and then later regretted doing it because they shouldn't have been so critical.
Yeah. But, you know, again, it all has to do with personalities and what you want out of life, I guess. So, anyways, I think that's pretty much the time for today. But I do want to give advance notice that the next Craft and Chat will be on January the 5th. So that's a week from this Wednesday, coming at the usual time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All are welcome. The Zoom links will be, or the link for the Zoom will be in today's show notes, as it'll be in next week's videos as well. And if you're on my special mailing list, my special peeps, my regulars on that, you'll be getting your individual invitation. And if anybody wants to be on that list, just send me an email and I'll put you on. Simple as that. But you don't have to be on the list to come in. The Zoom link will be in the show notes, so you can find that. So let's see. Andy says, here's what I don't get. The younger generation trusts their partners enough to have a kid, but not enough to get married. What's that about? We could go into that for days of my theories, but we'll save that for another day. And Teresa says, until New Year's, goodbye all, stay safe. Yep. So we'll see everybody next week, and my vlogs and our other productions will be up coming this week coming. So see you then, maybe. And
Stay safe.
Stay safe.
And Happy New Year.
And Happy New Year, yeah, because it will
be the
day
after
it'll be the day after New Year.
Will be
Yeah.
New Year's Day.
Okay, so see you all later. Have a good one. Bye-bye for now.